Welcome to the UFC Freedom 250 press conference. On June 14th, it'll be a sporting event like no other on the White House South Lawn in Washington, D.C., topped off by two fantastic title fights. Up first, an American featherweight on an absolute tear. 7 straight wins, with 6 coming by vicious knockout and absolutely no signs of slowing down. Please welcome Steve Mean Machine Garcia. His opponent, a fan favorite who never takes his foot off the gas. 27 victories, double-digit figures in both knockouts and submissions, and a never-ending hunger to put gold around his waist. Here is the dynamic and exciting Diego Lopez. Next, we move to middleweight. First to the stage, a resurgent grappling ace from Philadelphia. He's blasted his way back into the octagon with 4 straight wins, all ending before the final horn. Eyeing a signature win at the White House, here is Kyle Daukaus. His opponent, a heavily decorated 3-time national champion wrestler from Penn State University, who's already applied his skill to mixed martial arts just fine. Coming off a highlight reel head kick knockout in his last fight, please welcome Bo Nickal. Next, we move to 155 pounds. First up, the definition of an All-American. A former MMA champion with 23 wins, 18 finishes, and 5 performance awards in 7 UFC fights. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the always entertaining Iron Michael Chandler. His opponent is eager to assert himself as a real problem in the division. With spectacular knockout wins over Jamie Malarkey, King Green, and Rafael Fiziev, this fighting nerd has his sights set on yet another wow moment in DC. This is Mauricio Hoofy. Fireworks are guaranteed in our next matchup at heavyweight. First to the stage, an all-time legend of the sport. No one has electrified UFC crowds quite like this man. He owns the most knockouts in UFC history with 16, and the confidence to add another in front of the president. Here is the one and only Derek the Black Beast Lewis. Standing in his way, a man with no fear or regard for records or accomplishments. A brash, tough, and incredibly exciting finisher who's loudly burst onto the scene with his skills and his persona. Armed with dynamite in both hands, please welcome Josh Hokit. Next, we move to featherweight. Coming to the stage first, a dangerous veteran who's peaking at the right time. He's dispatched his last 7 opponents, including division record holders and Hall of Famers alike, and now has his crosshairs focused on arguably the sport's biggest star. This is Amin Zahabi. His opponent is no stranger to owning the moment when the lights are shining brightest. An elite striker and knockout artist of the highest order, who's had fans leaping out of their seats since his debut. Please welcome the former UFC bantamweight champion, Sugar Sean O'Malley. Next up, the first of our 2 title fights in the heavyweight division. First to the stage, an elite athlete with the footwork and skill that is unmatched at his size. Unbeaten in his last 3 fights and starving to own the undisputed title, Please welcome the former interim heavyweight champion, Ciryl Gane. Across the octagon is a man looking to do what no other fighter has done. Having built a career shredding through opponents on his way to championships in 2 weight classes, this Brazilian savage is moving up to heavyweight to become the first 3-division UFC champion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alex Poeta Pereira. And finally, undisputed lightweight gold is on the line in the main event. Up first, a one-of-a-kind showman, a human highlight reel who has accumulated a staggering 15 performance bonuses in 15 UFC fights. Please welcome to the stage the interim UFC lightweight champion and future Hall of Famer, Justin the Highlight Gaethje. And finally, the Hunted, a man who ravaged through the greatest featherweights and lightweights in the world to earn gold in both divisions. He doesn't just finish people, he destroys them. Poised for another legendary moment on the biggest stage, please welcome the UFC lightweight champion, El Matador, Ilia Topuria.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming out today. Before we get this thing started, I wanted to announce that Crypto.com just put up $1 million for UFC White House fight bonuses. So the guys that are involved in the fight of the night at the White House will split $600,000. Congratulations, boys. Who's got the first question?
Let's start with the champion, Ilia Topuria, in the front right here, other side, right here, right here. Obviously, a lot of people were vying for this spot, being side A of this historic card. I guess, what does it say about you that the UFC is trusting you for such a marquee event in a historic moment?
Mira, una oportunidad tremenda y una cartelera histórica. ¿Qué dice de ti que el UFC te puso básicamente como estelar para esto?
Honestly, I don't know what it says about me. I'm just so grateful with the UFC and with Dana, with everyone that was involved in this event that gave me this huge opportunity. And the only thing I can say is thank you, and I really appreciate it.
And standing opposite you is Justin Gaethje, obviously one of the most, maybe the most exciting fighter that has ever stepped into the UFC octagon. What are you expecting from Justin? How can you possibly prepare for someone where a lot of their opponents just don't look the same after fighting Justin?
Listen, one thing I know for a fact is that he never fought with someone like me. And the only thing that I want from Justin is to him to show up in the event, and I'm going to do the rest. You know what I mean?
Question for Justin, right here. Obviously, everyone wanted this main event spot. You're the American in this historic card at the White House. You essentially manifested this. In January, you said beat Patty, unify against Ilia. You got what you wanted. I guess, what are the emotions now before this historic event?
Yeah, it is an absolute dream come true. From where I come from, we all come from somewhere, but I come from the middle of nowhere, and to represent this country on this level, at this moment in my career is something that I could have never dreamt of. My first fight ever was outside, and one of my last fights will be outside. So it's a crazy life. I'm gonna be so ready. I'm so ready to put it on the line. I don't give a fuck if he beats me, doesn't beat me, doesn't matter. I'm coming in there, and I'm gonna try to knock this motherfucker out. I will be throwing missiles on the White House lawn on June 14th. I promise you that.
And, you know, a lot of people say this run that Ilia's on might be the best 3 wins we've ever seen in the UFC. You fought all of the great lightweights of the world. How does Ilia stack up compared to your past opponents?
Yeah, I think he's my second toughest test ever, next to Khabib. But yeah, those three knockouts, Volkanovski, Holloway, Oliveira, yeah, legendary. So it's just going to make this win that much more spectacular.
Question for Ciryl Gane. Right here.
Wow.
I have to ask, we haven't really seen you, we haven't seen or heard from you since that fight in Abu Dhabi. How's life? And I guess, what do you make of this reception here in Newark before this event in the White House?
We haven't heard or seen from you since the fight in Abu Dhabi. So what is it to be around here?
Yeah, Yeah. I'm just happy to be here. Like, I just keep training since October because we thought we were gonna have a revenge earlier with Thomas Spinal. Unfortunately, it was not free, not LC free. But yeah, we keep training, and now to be here, I'm so happy to be part of this event. And I'm so proud, really proud.
You fought big heavy hitters like Francis and Derek and tall guys like Volkov. You faced off with Alex, who's coming up from light heavyweight. Did he feel and look like a heavyweight when you stood opposite him?
Yeah, he looked really like an heavyweight, and he's not a surprise because that's really interesting what I say, guys. Listen, I know everybody understand. Now I can talk, please. So I say, we did already a face-off there 2 or 3 years ago. He came to France in Paris in RS. It was a pleasure to have him. And I knew already it's going to be big. It was already big. And the real question is how we did to make the weight for the middleweight. This is the real question.
Question for Poatan, right here. You're obviously shooting for a history, getting your 3rd belt in a 3rd weight class. A lot of people think if you win this belt, you could be maybe the greatest fighter that has ever fought in the UFC. Is that something that weighs on your mind, or is it just business as usual at the White House?
E você está lutando pela história na Casa Branca, por um 3º cinturão, e muita gente diz que se você ganhar esse cinturão, você vai ser considerado o melhor lutador da história. Pressão, pensa nisso, está na tua cabeça a ideia de ser considerado o melhor lutador da história ou basicamente é só mais um dia de trabalho?
Chama. Bom, eu venho fazendo meu trabalho, né? Eu recebo essas oportunidades porque eu venho fazendo grandes lutas, isso me deixa muito motivado. Com um 3º cinturão, todo mundo sabe da grandeza que é esse feito. Todo mundo sabe da minha história. Eu tenho certeza que muitas pessoas vão estar me vendo. Tem uma história bonita para motivar pessoas. Isso é que me inspira.
For sure, the work has been shown. I've been putting on the work, and the reason because I'm here is because of the work that I've been putting in and the effort that I've put in as a reward for everything that I've done. And now an opportunity to turn that into a 3rd belt, that is historic. That's something that inspires people because I come from something, a life of challenges, of difficulties. I have a very beautiful story to show, and for someone like me to accomplish that and to make history, it will inspire people as well.
And Ciryl obviously presents a lot of problems for heavyweights, but when you break his skill set down, where does he actually shine in there?
O Ciryl sempre foi um cara que deu problema para vários tipos de peso pesado. Quando você olha de maneira técnica, que problema que você vê no Ciryl?
Não, acho que todo atleta, todo adversário é um problema. São pessoas treinadas ali, querendo sair com a vitória. Né? Pô, eu agora indo para a categoria de cima, né? Claro que é um outro desafio, mas eu estou preparado para isso. Como ele falou, não sei como que ele fazia o peso médio, né? O cara desse tamanho. Então dá para ver que eu sou um peso pesado.
Every athlete poses a challenge, and he's no different to that. I mean, we're talking about a professional athlete. You just have to think about it. I'm ready for that challenge, and that's what happens. As he said, when he met me before, he thought he didn't know how I made middleweight. I was always prepared for heavyweight. I've been an athlete, ready to go, and I'm prepared for this.
And I have to ask you about that gentleman at the end of the table. He called you out after his last fight. Apparently there's a report that he was sizing you up. What do you make of Josh Hokit's persona, and do you see that as a fight down the road?
E tem que perguntar sobre o cavalheiro que está no final ali da mesa, que falou o teu nome, mencionou o teu nome, depois da última luta dele, o Josh Hokit, que está aqui. O que você achou do fato que ele mencionou você?
Bom, não sei, eu estou focado na minha luta, né? Não tenho por que falar dessa luta agora.
I don't know. I'm focused on my fight. There's no reason for me to be talking about his fight now.
Last question for you, Dana. We saw this belt unveiled by President Trump. Is that the belt that will be wrapped around the winners of the main and co-main?
Yes, that's the belt.
Will President Trump be wrapping the belt around the winners?
That I don't know yet. I don't know.
Question for Michael Chandler. Michael, outside of the title fights here, you are the biggest underdog on this card. Do you feel Mauricio has done enough to kind of earn that respect from the odds makers, and do you feel disrespected at all by those odds?
No, I never feel disrespected at all. In this sport, you just got to focus on the task at hand. I don't care what the odds say. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do my job on America's birthday, being an American on this historic card. I respect Mauricio. I respect what he has done. I respect who he has fought. I respect the wins that he has. I respect the highlights. But I do believe there are warriors in this sport and there are fighters in this sport. I'm a different kind of warrior. And whenever the fight gets tough, I plan on taking him to deep waters and drowning him.
And for Mauricio, I know you announced this morning that you've kind of officially split with the Fighting Nerds. Can you tell us, I guess, what is your situation going forward in preparing for this fight? And what are your thoughts on Michael Chandler here as an opportunity?
Ruf, você anunciou basicamente hoje que você teve um rompimento com o Fighting Nerds, então você poderia falar pra gente quais que são os próximos passos, em que ponto que você está na tua carreira e também do Michael Chandler como oponente na tua próxima luta.
Estou numa nova fase da minha vida, continuo com o apoio de todos os Fight Nerd, mas montei a minha equipe para focar ainda mais na minha performance, no meu plano. Mas para mim é um prazer estar lutando aqui, lutando na Casa Branca, estou muito feliz com essa oportunidade. Eu acredito muito que dando um show vou ter uma oportunidade pelo título, então não é sobre vencer, é sobre dar um show para a galera, que é isso que vocês merecem.
It's a new phase of my life. I always have a friendship and a love for all the Fighting Nerds, but now is a time to train differently and to do different things. And I'm very happy and very proud to be in this event against Michael Chandler in the White House, because I think that it's not just about winning, it's about how you win. And if I win the way I want to win, I will have a shot at the title and give you all the show that you deserve.
And for Amin Zahabi, Amin, you got a little bit of a frosty reception coming in here as well. You fought many times in Canada where you're kind of the hero. Are you preparing yourself for not just today, but all throughout fight week to kind of get this similar reception and be the bad guy?
Yeah, of course. I expect a lot of boos out the Washington, D.C. But what I got to say is, it's good for you guys to cheer him on, but at the end of the day, he's going to be locked in the cage with me, and it's going to be mano a mano, and none of you guys can save him in the octagon.
For Derek Lewis, Derek, when this card was first announced, a lot of people wondered why you weren't on it, because we were led to believe you were Trump's favorite fighter. And then Josh tells us after his win that he was told he's now the favorite fighter. So what do you just make of that, and are you kind of fighting to get that status back here?
I don't give a damn about none of that. I'm just happy to be fighting.
Okay. And for Dana and the headliners here, Dana, I believe you said yesterday that Arman Tsarukyan will be the backup for this fight. Can you confirm that? And then from Justin and Ilia, just your thoughts on that and potentially having to prepare for another man should something happen here, which of course we're hoping does not.
Yes, true.
I have no thoughts.
Me personally, I don't care who I'm going to have in front. June 14, I'm going to break his job in the first minute, rather if it's Arman or Justin.
And just one more for Alex Pereira. Alex, just tell us your preparation for heavyweight, and do you see yourself ever going back to light heavyweight? Because you're hearing Carlos Alberg calling you out. Hamzat Chimaev says if he wins tomorrow, he wants to move up. Like, do you ever see yourself dropping back down, or are you enjoying this experience too much?
Alex. Você falou agora, você está como peso pesado, mas assim, existe uma possibilidade de você voltar a ser um peso meio pesado de novo, por conta do fato de que Carlos Uber já falou teu nome, o pessoal chama teu nome, sempre o pessoal quer lutar com você, existe a possibilidade de você voltar a ser um meio pesado?
Bom, estou aqui para lutar, tenho um novo contrato com o UFC, Dana White está aí, o que ele quiser fazer, eu estou dentro.
I'm here to fight, you know, Dana White is the president of the UFC, whatever he wants to do, I'm in.
There's a question for Josh Hokit. Josh, the last fight out, you had a fantastic performance against Curtis Blades. You went to war for 3 rounds. Are you able to fight Derek Lewis in the same way, or the fact he hit so hard means you have to play it a bit more cautious?
Derek Lewis ain't tight.
That's why he pussied out and took a dive in his last fight. I'm gonna retire him, then he's gonna sell old man ass wipes because his knees look like a broke toy. And on June 14th, I'm gonna beat the shit out of the black Pillsbury Doughboy. Am I right, New Jersey? Bitch.
Derek, just your thoughts on what Josh said there. He says he's going to retire you.
I didn't understand nothing he said. Tell him you guys take that mic away from his mouth a little bit. I know it's black and big. You got to pull it away from his mouth a little bit for me to understand. I didn't understand anything he said. I just heard a bunch of screaming and shit. Repeat.
Do you not rate his mic skills or his character work?
I never even heard of the guy until after the fight, or his last fight. That's whenever I heard of him. Honestly, I never even heard of him before.
How grateful were you to President Trump that he basically told Dana White that you have to be on this card? And how grateful are you for this opportunity?
I'm very grateful. You know, shit. It's like a dream come true to fight at the White House. You know, I never thought I would even make it this far in my career to be fighting at the White House.
Derek is dyslexic, so math should suck. And when I cut him open, all you will see is backwood guts. The black beast is gonna get his ass beat. Am I right, New Jersey?
Huh?
Sorry, Derek, you were saying?
Yeah, like I was saying, I'm like so happy to be fighting at the White House, man. The dream come true. It's gonna be a good night, man.
Does anything this guy say get under your skin at all?
I really can't understand. You know I'm old, man. I can't hear the shit people saying, man. I'm old. I'm 41.
It's not that old. A question for Bo Nickel. Bo, everyone knows about your relationship with the president. It feels like you were always going to be on this event, but to finally be here, know that this is coming up on your schedule, what sort of honor is it for you to fight on the South Lawn?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think this is not only going to be the biggest... I think this is not only going to be, you know, the biggest UFC event in history, but this is one of the biggest sporting events in history to me. And I think that it's just a massive honor, super grateful. And I mean, these people seem a little mad that I'm on the card, but I guarantee you they tune in either way, so it's all good.
Question for Carl. Carl, do you feel like you're playing spoiler here for Donald Trump's one of his favorite fighters anyway, or are you just happy to be involved?
I mean, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to participate in the, the event itself. But yeah, I'm coming in here to play spoiler, definitely.
Last one for me, for Ilia Topuria. Ilia, obviously you got to go to the Oval Office the other day, and it seemed like you were enjoying being around President Trump, a couple of laughs at some of his comments. What was that experience like, and why were you finding it so amusing?
It was so amazing to having the President of the United States in front. And as I told him, I never expect him to be so kind, and he was aware about everyone, so I don't know, it was a great experience. It was so nice. And can't wait to get back in there and win in fashion.
Question for Ciryl Gane. With Thomas Pinal behavior since your last fight, the situation with the White House, the opponent you're facing, Alex Pereira, is this belt truly the undisputed one or an interim one for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's an interim belt, but honestly, it's look a little bit different, really different. It's look like an interim belt. It's going to be a special moment, a special fight, and I think it's going to be like an incredible moment.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead, who's got the next question?
Josh over here. Which version of Josh Hokit will we see at the White House?
Alex gained some weight, and now he thinks he's King Kong. But his girl said the steroids killed his ding-dong. Am I right, New Jersey?
Ciryl, do you feel that Alex Pereira is a tougher fight for you than Tom Aspinall was?
Completely different fight. Like Alex Pereira is a beautiful striker, one of the best in the UFC. I think Thomas Minal is more well-rounded with a different skill. It's going to be completely different. Like I fought already some huge guy, huge champion, but it's going to be completely different than Tom.
Question for Kyle Dawkins. There was a lot of talk when this fight got booked about Colby Covington. Bo said I would offer to fight Colby Covington. Did you feel like you were being overlooked there?
No. I just feel like it was kind of picking the easier fight, honestly. I feel like matching up against Colby's an easier fight than matching up against me.
And then question for Josh. It was mentioned that you did kind of go face-to-face with Poatan earlier today. What was the thought there?
I come to devour. You will know the day. You will know the hour. I'm going to give Pereira a golden shower. I'm not just going to win. I'm going to piss on him. I'm going to shama on your mama. This guy's the baddest man on the planet. Look how I speak to him. Like my dog. Like my bitch. Fuck you.
Então,
What you going to do?
Então, Poatan, vou traduzir o
You ain't
poema.
going to do shit.
Ele disse que não sabe o dia, não sabe a hora, mas ele sabe que no final das contas ele vai dar um golden shower em você, ele vai dar uma mijada. Ele falou, você é um dos maiores, cara mais intimidadores da história do UFC, e olha como ele fala com você, como se você fosse um cachorro. Da tua mãe.
Não tem nem o que falar, cara. A gente estava na entrevista algumas horas atrás, ele ficou me encarando, frente a frente, eu falei, chama. No meio de todo mundo, ele quer aparecer, por que ele não fez nada lá?
You know, I have nothing to say about this guy. Listen, we were giving an interview earlier today. This guy just goes right by me, starts saying things. I looked at him in his eye and I said, Shama. Well, why didn't he do anything when I was there?
He says, Shama. He speaks English.
He doesn't need me to
He speaks English. He says, Shama.
Hey, you
Ele falou chama, diz que você fala inglês.
Fuck you.
Tá te
Fucking
mandando
little
a merda.
bitch. I'm the real BMF belt. Little short midget. Fuck you.
Fuck you, little bitch.
Fucking little
Sit
midget.
down.
Come up to a real weight class. I'll give it to anybody. I don't give a fuck.
Algum comentário?
Hey, you have your boyfriend speaking for you?
Tá deixando o Ilia falar por você? É isso? Epa.
My performance.
Take this little
He's
pussy
the
out.
Grammy.
Take this little
And
pussy
Ilia
out.
Topuria.
Take
showed
him
us
out.
all
Take him
that
out.
you
Get
shouldn't
out of
find your wife
pussy.
in Miami.
Get out.
Am I
Get
right,
out.
New Jersey?
Bye, you little pussy.
All right, thanks for coming out early for this one. We'll get this stuff out of here and do face-offs.
Ilia Gamarjova.
Aqui, Marcos.